Pupitar may not appear to be much, but there is a lot about it that is overlooked. Here are some Pokemon facts you probably didn't know. Larvitar, which evolves into Pupitar and eventually the mega powerful Tyrannitar, is one of the most sought after and beloved Pokemon. This evolutionary line is a pseudo-legendary line, a phrase coined by fans to characterize Pokemon that are nearly, or even better than that, legendary Pokemon, but lack the official label. Tyrannitar is Generation 2's in-house pseudo-legendary, so it's no wonder that many gamers want to get their hands on one in Sword and Shield. If you're one of those players, here's how you evolve your Pupitar into Tyrannitar, as well as a few other things you should know. Number 10. How to evolve. You need to level up this Pupitar quite a little before it evolves into its final form, much like most other uber powerful pseudo-legendaries. However, it does not have the same level of evolution as some of its predecessors and previous generations. At level 30, Larvitar will develop into Pupitar, who will subsequently evolve into a Tyrannitar at level 55. This is high, but not as high as some of the other Pokemon of comparable stature. If you want to catch one in Sword and Shield, go to Shield's Lake of Outrage. Sword players will need to trade a friend for one or get lucky in a surprise trade. Number 9. Inspired by Godzilla. The majority of Pokemon are based on real-life animals or inanimate objects, while a small number are based on Japanese yokai, or otherworldly monsters or demons from legend. The Kitsune-inspired Ninetales or Drowsy based on the Baku are two notable examples. The Larvitar line, on the other hand, is inspired by a different type of Japanese creature, the Kaijin. These weird sea creatures are legendary in Japanese tradition, and they were the inspiration for Godzilla, which Tyrannitar appears to be based on. Number 8. Bedrock. Bedrock is a super hard substance that can't be broken, and it serves as the bottom layer of the entire universe in most circumstances, according to Minecraft players. Bedrock is a highly strong and hard layer of rock towards the bottom of most of Earth's surface, and this is true in real life as well. Pupitar's shell is claimed to be as hard as bedrock in a handful of its Pokédex entries, which is noteworthy. This means it's almost impenetrable, so you'll have to use some powerful strikes to get it through and take it down. Number 7. It moves by farting. Pupitar can move around in the world despite the fact that it's essentially a pupa within a hard shell with no limbs. More on that later. You may wish that you had never received response to that query. Pupitar moves by producing gas inside its body and then forcibly ejecting it to propel itself like a jet, according to the Pokédex. Pupitar moves around by farting, or perhaps burping. Number 6. Mountain Toppling. Pupitar appears to be a serious threat to the terrain, despite the fact that it moves around by farting. We learn something quite frightening about this Pokemon in the Pokédex once more. Because of its strength, Pupitar can topple a mountain. It's also reported to have exceptional destructive force and a thrashing tendency. If you notice one approaching, you should be cautious. Number 5. Arms and legs. You might be wondering what would happen if Pupitar's limbs were to be discussed. It appears to have some, albeit they aren't noticeable at first glance. This is due to the fact that they are trapped inside its shell, allowing them to develop as it transforms into the full Tyrannitar. Pupitar appears to work in the same way that cocoons do in real life for insects, transforming its body into a liquefied state and slowly metamorphosing into a Larvitar, from a Larvitar to a Tyrannitar. So it has arms and legs, but they're still evolving. Number 4. Mountain Eater. While Pupitar is flying around toppling mountains, Larvitar's pre-evolution appears to be eating them. Larvitar is reported to consume soil and emerge from its underground birthplace after eating its way out. It appears that it can only reach the pupa stage after devouring a whole mountain. It's remarkable that there are any mountains remaining with also many Larvitar and Pupitar roaming around. Number 3. Tarasque. As previously stated, the Larvitar family, particularly Tyrannitar, appears to be related to Godzilla. However, a Tarasque, a weird turtle-like demon from Japanese folklore and mythology, is supposed to be the inspiration for Larvitar. The Tarasque, according to tradition, eats mountains and other objects and resembles a protective turtle-like monster. This would be in keeping with the legends surrounding Larvitar and Pupitar, as well as their tough-as-nails appearance and design. Number 2. Unique type combo. Tyrannitar was a cool, powerful, and terrifying new Pokemon when it was originally debuted, and it used a new and thrilling dark type, which didn't exist before Generation 2. It appears to be the second new type, Steel, but it's actually rock and dark. This is still cool though, for one reason: it's a one of a kind. Tyrannitar's type combination is unique amongst Pokemon, even among its pre-evolutions. Instead, Larvitar and Pupitar are ground and rock. And at number 1, is it a dinosaur or a bug? The Pupitar line is unusual in that it appears to incorporate aspects of both dinosaurs and insects, but isn't directly based on either. Tyrannitar is fashioned after a huge lizard, and the rock type, which Game Freak normally assigns to dinosaur-like Pokemon and fossils. They're voracious eating as larvae until they pupate, and some of their design elements on the other hand point to insects. It appears that they're designed to be a hybrid of the two. And those are 10 things you didn't know about Pupitar. Let me know if you knew any of these. You probably knew a few, which is alright, but I hope this video pointed out at least one that you didn't know about. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.